Welcome to Man Cave Insider. I'm Dennis. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can see past and future videos. This is my man cave, and this room is filled with things that I've collected my entire life, and these are the stories behind them. And today, we are going to be taking a look at the 1991 film JFK, directed by Oliver Stone, which has just been released on 4K from Shout Select. JFK is one of 3 films that Stone made centering around U.S. presidents, alongside Nixon and W. This is also one of several other Oliver Stone films that take place in the 60s, alongside Platoon, The Doors, Born on the 4th of July, and Heaven and Earth. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas, is one of the most significant events in American and world history. And the ensuing investigation is still debated to this day. The plot of JFK centers around New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison and his investigation of the Kennedy assassination after reading the Warren Commission's report. In November 1988, Garrison released the book On the Trail of the Assassins about his investigation and prosecution of the murder of President Kennedy. After reading Garrison's book, Oliver Stone immediately purchased the film rights for $250,000 of his own money. He also bought the rights to the book Crossfire, The Plot That Killed Kennedy, written by Jim Marrs, and he hired a team of researchers to assemble as much information about the assassination as possible. Stone designed JFK as a rebuttal to what he felt was a myth of the Warren Commission. He co-wrote the screenplay with Zachary Schuyler. When completed, Stone sent copies of the scripts to Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, and Kevin Costner, who initially turned down the role of Jim Garrison. At the urging of his agent, and after several meetings with the real Jim Garrison, Costner signed on board. Many of the actors who appeared in JFK took lower fees because they wanted to appear in this film. Also included in the cast were Sissy Spacek, Tommy Lee Jones, Joe Pesci, Gary Oldman as Lee Harvey Oswald, Donald Sutherland, Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Michael Rooker, and Ed Asner. Production of the film took place from April to July of 1991. The production spent $4 million to restore Dealey Plaza to look like it did in 1963 to recreate the assassination. They only had 10 days to shoot there, and they used several cameras in different formats such as 35mm, 16mm, and 14mm. They also spent $50,000 to shoot in the book depository building and were only allowed to have 5 people on the floor at one time. Because so many different types of film stock were used in photographing JFK, all of the footage was transferred to 3/4-inch videotape to edit the film. The score for JFK was done by veteran composer John Williams. At the time, he was committed to scoring Steven Spielberg's film Hook, but he wanted to be involved in JFK. To do this, he composed 6 full musical sequences for JFK, and several scenes in the film were edited to go alongside Williams' music. When released in December of 1991, the first weekend of JFK's box office was initially low. This was mainly due to its 3-hour runtime. Throughout the holiday season and the next few months, JFK continued to perform well at the box office, grossing $200 million worldwide. Film critic Roger Ebert named JFK as one of his top 10 films of the 90s. JFK was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, winning for cinematography and editing. At the trial at the end of the film, it states that the records of the investigation of Kennedy were to be sealed until 2029. The Assassination Records Review Board credited the film JFK as a factor in the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992 to start releasing documents of the Kennedy investigation periodically. In 2021, Oliver Stone returned to the Kennedy assassination with the documentary JFK Revisited Through the Looking Glass. While the film JFK is by no means meant to be a historical document, but more of a detective story, it's no doubt that the film certainly raises questions about what happened that fateful day in November of 1963. What I have here is the new release from Shout Select of JFK appearing on 4K for the very first time. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So this is the collector's edition of JFK on 4K and Blu-ray. This is a 4-disc set which features the director's cut as well as the theatrical version of the film. So this comes in 3 separate cases. One thing to note is only the director's cut appears on 4K. So the first case is the director's cut on 4K and Blu-ray. The second case is a theatrical version on Blu-ray only. And the third case is a Blu-ray featuring all of the special features. So that is it for our look at the 4-disc set of JFK from Shout Select. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time.